Ladies, pay attention, because this might challenge everything you've been told about relationships. Most people think arguments are a sign something is going wrong, that if you're fighting, the connection is weakening. That belief, it's quietly ruining relationships, because the truth is the opposite. Arguments are not where relationships break. They're where they are defined. A man doesn't decide how much he values you when everything is easy, calm, and perfect. Anyone can stay when things are smooth. He decides during tension, during disagreement, during moments when emotions rise and control is tested. And here's the part no one explains to you. When you argue with a man, he's not just reacting to the issue. He's analyzing you. Not consciously, but instinctively. He's asking himself questions he'll never say out loud. Can I handle life with her? Does she make problems bigger or solve them? Do I feel respected when things go wrong? And based on your answers in that moment, something inside him either pulls closer or starts stepping back. This is why two women can have the same argument with the same man and get completely different outcomes. One pushes him away, the other makes him feel more connected than before, not because of what they argue about, but because of how they argue. And that's what we're breaking down today on Love Talks Nation. Not surface advice, not communicate better, cliches, but the real, hidden psychology behind conflict, the three internal reactions every man has during an argument, and how the way you handle those moments can actually increase his respect, his attachment, and yes, even his love for you. Because once you understand this, you won't fear arguments anymore. You'll use them. Let's begin. First, you must understand this. A man does not measure a relationship by how peaceful it is. He measures it by how stable it feels under pressure. Most women think, if we argue, something is wrong. No, a man thinks, if we argue, can this still feel safe? That's the first internal reaction. Emotional stability under tension. When a disagreement starts, his mind isn't focused on the topic. It's focused on your reaction. Are you exploding? Are you attacking him personally? Are you turning a small issue into a character judgment? Or are you controlled, clear, and grounded? Because the moment an argument becomes chaotic, something switches off inside him. He stops listening, not because he doesn't care, but because he no longer feels safe engaging. But when you argue with control, something very different happens. He leans in. He starts thinking, I can actually deal with problems with her. And that thought is attachment. Let me say that again. Peace does not build attraction. Stability during conflict does. Now let's move to the second reaction. And this is where most women lose him without realizing it. Respect. A man can handle disagreement. What he cannot handle is feeling disrespected while being disagreed with. There's a difference. You can challenge his opinion without attacking his identity. But the moment an argument turns into, you always do this, you're just like every other man. You never understand anything. It stops being a conversation and becomes a confrontation of ego. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. When a man feels disrespected, he doesn't fight harder. He withdraws emotionally. He may stay physically. He may continue talking. But internally, he takes a step back. But when you argue in a way that keeps his dignity intact, something unexpected happens. He respects you more. Because now in his mind, you're not just emotional, you're composed. You're not just reacting, you're thinking. And a man is deeply attracted to a woman who can challenge him without tearing him down. That's rare. And what's rare is valuable. Now let's go deeper into the third reaction, the one that quietly decides whether he sees you as temporary or long-term. Clarity. Most arguments fail, not because of what's said, but because nothing gets resolved. It becomes noise, repetition, emotion without direction. And in that moment, a man starts asking himself something he will never say out loud. Is this what the future will feel like? Because men don't just experience the moment. They project it forward. If every disagreement feels endless, confusing, and emotionally draining, he doesn't see a future. He sees exhaustion. But when you argue with clarity, everything changes. You say what the issue is. You explain how it made you feel. You stay on the topic. And most importantly, you move toward a solution. Now the argument has a direction. And when a man sees that problems with you lead somewhere productive, not destructive, he starts thinking long term. He starts thinking life with her would actually work. And that thought is dangerous in the best way, because that's when emotional attachment deepens. Now here's the part most women misunderstand completely. Arguing correctly is not about being calm all the time. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending nothing bothers you. No, it's about control. Control of your words, control of your tone, control of your focus. Because the moment you lose control, you lose influence. And the moment you maintain control, you gain power. Not power over him, power over the situation. And that is what changes everything. So, how do you actually argue in a way that makes him feel closer instead of distant? Simple. You stay focused on the issue, not his character. You express emotion without losing structure. You listen, not just to reply, but to understand. And you aim to resolve, not to win. Because winning an argument but losing connection is not a victory. It's a slow loss. Now let me give you the truth. Most people are not ready to hear. A man doesn't fall deeper in love when everything is perfect. He falls deeper in love when he sees that even in imperfection, the connection still holds. When tension doesn't break you. When disagreement doesn't destroy respect. When emotion doesn't erase logic. That's when he starts trusting the relationship on a deeper level. That's when he feels safe investing more. That's when love grows, not despite conflict, but because of how you handle it. So ladies, remember this. Arguments are not the problem. Uncontrolled arguments are. And when you learn to argue with stability, respect, and clarity, you don't push him away. You pull him closer without even trying. And that's the real secret. This is Love Talks Nation.